Thank you. We're good. It's recording. Thank you so much. Well, I don't feel like I need an introduction. I feel like I've gotten pretty pumped up, but I'm surprised at how full this bar is. I mean, there are so many people here. It is 118 degrees outside today. I mean, to be honest with you, walking from your car into here, I would die. I just wouldn't come. So I appreciate you guys showing up. So this doesn't feel awkward at all. I'm being sarcastic. So I've had a lot of time on my hands because this gentleman overhead said I work in news. I don't work in news anymore. I'm kind of sort of retired, kind of figuring it out. And so I realized that I'm kind of awkward. And I wondered, what makes me awkward, right? And I was really thinking about it. And what makes me awkward is I constantly need to be validated for everything that I do. Everything, right? Right there. And somehow I'm going to turn that into an awkward situation right there. So similar, the other day I was driving and I was running errands and, I've got a weak bladder, so I couldn't make it to my next errand. I had to stop at a bathroom, and I really don't like using public bathrooms at all. I mean, as a woman, it's really scary because, right? You got women, we have to undress ourselves to go to the bathroom. So finding a bathroom that is safe and clean is very important when you have to use a public bathroom. So I had to go really bad. I was over at 16th Street in Camelback, and I had a choice. I saw McDonald's and I saw Chick-fil-A. McDonald's, they've been around for a while. I feel like their bathrooms probably wouldn't be that clean. So I chose Chick-fil-A. So I went to Chick-fil-A, I go into the bathroom, I go into the stall, I do my business. Nobody was in the bathroom. I come out of the stall, and there's a lady. And there's two sinks right here, and she's over at the sink that's closest to the wall, and the sink that's available is the one that's closest to the exit. So I walk out. Now, she's got her purse and everything all over the counters in the bathroom. And I walk out and I'm like, she got her lipstick, she got a wallet, she got a brush, she got a comb, all on the bathroom counter in a public bathroom. I mean, that was just but she's really engrossed in what she's doing. Anyways, whatever, teach his own. And then, so I go to wash my hands and there's no soap dispenser. So I look over and there's only one soap dispenser in the whole bathroom, and it's over by her by the wall. So she's really engrossed. She's not paying any attention. I don't think she even knew that I was in the bathroom. But the soap is there. So in order for me to get to the soap, I gotta, excuse me, and she gotta move, and I gotta go. So, but I gotta wash my hands, right? I gotta wash my hands. It's real important. So stand there, I'm looking. And then I see that there is some hand sanitizer dispenser right by the door, right? Right by the door. So most people would just take the hand sanitizer, boop, 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 and they would probably just walk out of the bathroom as they're washing their hands. That's for most people, not me. No. Mm-mm. So she's still doing all this stuff in her purse and doing all this. And so I thought, well, that's just not an option. So I take the hand sanitizer, and I look at her, and I try to make noise so she could hear that I'm getting the hand sanitizer at the dispenser, right? Because it's important that she knows. She doesn't look up. So I got the phone in my hands, right? Now most people would, right? Nope, not me. I stand there, do this, try to make as much noise as I can. She don't hear me. The hand sanitizer foam is gone. So you know what I did? I kid you not. And I'm like, really? Really? You couldn't just walk out of the bathroom. You couldn't just keep on going. You have to get the validation. So what do you think I did? Tapped her on the shoulder like this. And I go, oh my God. I just want you to know, I know you're busy, but the soap dispenser's there. And I want to wash my hands. I use the hand sanitizer here. So I just want you to know that I wash my hands. And she's standing there like, what the heck? I mean, that is that not weird, guys? That's weird. Like, it's so important for me to know that she washed my hands because she's a complete stranger. I'm never going to see again. And I'm telling myself this the whole time I'm in the bathroom, right? So it was just ridiculous. And she's looking at me like you're a fool. So I move on with my life, right? But then I get in the car and I'm evaluating that whole situation because it's like, why did I need to do that? Like, that's super weird, right? But then I think the reason why I'm awkward and I constantly need people to acknowledge me is because it's my mother. It's because of my mother. Because my entire childhood with my mother was either explaining something that she did or explaining something that she said my entire life. So let me explain this to you. So we're 2026, right? You see how I look? There's not a lot of people that look like me that live here, right, in Arizona. Am I right on that? Would you agree with me on that? Right? Okay. Imagine what it was like in 1976 to move here. Oh, wow. So we moved here from 1976, and I knew as a 5-year-old that I was definitely not going to fit in no matter how hard I tried. So besides the fact that I look like this, and I'm left-handed, and as you can see, I'm hyper, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm an extreme minority. But then you add my parents. They're not from this country. They're from Haiti. So here you have some brown-skinned people that speak some Caribbean French to throw everybody off. Everybody off. So if you've ever had immigrants, so I'm first generation American, if you had immigrant parents, you understand what I'm talking about. So no matter where, when your parents come from a different country, they grew up in that country. They have that culture, they have the language, they have everything about that, right? So nothing in my household was from this country. It was nothing from the household I lived in Arizona was American, nothing. You'd have French music playing, you would have like rice and beans, you would have grillon, which is like fried pork, you would have lumbi, like all the smells are different. And like when you would open my pantry, my friends would come over and they're looking for snacks. There was no snacks. Everything was cooked. We cooked everything homemade. There was rice, there was pasta, there was all these things. Then you go over to my friend's house, you open up their pantry, there's cheeses, there's chocolate, Hershey's chocolate syrup, you've got wheat thins. If you stayed for dinner, they'd serve you hot dogs and hamburgers, all of it, right? So that alone, I'm not feeling this vibe. I'm not feeling anybody laughing here. I'm just gonna say it out loud. We're gonna get to the point here quickly. So that's one of the experiences is that, so you have all the Haitian culture. And my mother, so, she kind of spoke like, so when she was calm, she's like, oh, Daphne, you're not feeling okay today. It's okay. But if she was upset, it'd be like, Daphne, so she spoke like Franglish, right? And although her English was very good, but her accent was really, she had a really heavy accent. So a lot of people didn't understand things that she said. So let me give you an example about explaining the things my mom does and explaining the things she says. So one day, I was about 8 years old, and we're playing in the neighborhood. And by the way, in Arizona, you actually could play outside in the summertime. It was really cool because before we got to 51, it was below 80 degrees at nighttime, right? And so we'd be playing, and it'd be a little bit hot. And for any of you millennials out there, we used to drink from the garden hose. I am proof. I survived. I'm here. I'm alive. You can do it. You can do it, right? Okay. So all of a sudden, we're running around playing hide and seek, and you hear this. Daphne, wushu booby. Daphne, wushu booby. Okay. Obviously, we stopped running around, and all my friends were like, they knew it was my mom. How many people had that accent living in my neighborhood? Zero. Everybody knew my mother with that accent. And who says Daphne like that? So all my friends were like, what did your mom just say? Now, they understood the Daphne washer, right? Because that was English. They understood that. But they're like, what does booby mean? Now have you? I'm 8 years old. I don't know how to fib. Like I wasn't, I hadn't lived long enough to know that sometimes you gotta tell a little tiny lie so you don't look awkward, right? But I didn't know any better, so I told my friends what it meant. Booby means vagina. My mom literally was yelling across the entire neighborhood, Daphne, come wash your booby. So you tell me how that doesn't make you awkward and uncomfortable like that. So to this day, all those kids that were playing, hide and seek, they never moved. They still live here. And I do too. So when I run into them, do you think there's like, hey, Daph, what's going on? Oh, no. Daphne! What's up, baby? Thank you. I'm Daphne Monroe. I appreciate you. Thank you,